All right, today we're diving deep into an incredible tale from the heart of the Thar Desert, a story that's been passed down for centuries. It's the legend of Umar and Marvi. And let me tell you, this isn't your typical story of love and loyalty. It's something way more profound. The regions of Pakistan are just bursting with these powerful, epic folk legends. You've probably heard of the tragic romance of Hir and Ranja, right? Or the fateful story of Soni and Mahaiwal. These are huge sagas of love and loss that really define a rich cultural landscape. But the story of Umar and Marvi? Well, this one's different. This isn't a tale of star-crossed lovers. Nope. This is a story about integrity, about an unshakable love for one's homeland, and a patriotism so fierce it could actually change the heart of a king. So, our story kicks off in a small village called Malir, deep within the sands of the Sindh desert. And this is the home of our hero. Meet Marvi. Now, she isn't a princess or some noblewoman. She's a village girl, but her spirit is anything but ordinary. She's described as simple, graceful, and just profoundly virtuous. She basically embodies the very soul of her community and all its traditions. So this is the crucial thing to understand about Marvi. For her, wealth wasn't gold or jewels, and her identity, it wasn't tied to status or power. Her entire world, her whole sense of who she was rooted in her land, her people, and her culture back in Malir. And it's this unbreakable connection to her home that sets the stage for the big conflict in our story, when her entire world is suddenly and violently turned upside down. Okay, so picture this. The ruler of Sindh, King Umar-Sumro, is out hunting and stops at a well in Malir for some water, and there he sees Marvi. He's instantly struck by her beauty and her simplicity, and decides right then and there, she must be my queen. But when he demands she marry him, Marvi does the unthinkable. She flat out refuses. She actually chooses her simple life over a royal crown. Well, as you can imagine, a king is not used to being told no. He doesn't take her rejection lightly, at all. In this flash of wounded pride and pure rage, he kidnaps Marvi. He imprisons her in his massive fortress in Umarkat, absolutely determined to make her his queen by force. Her life is changed in an instant. The king offers her everything you could possibly imagine: fancy clothes, unbelievable riches, power. But for Marvi, this choice is simple. All she sees is what she would lose: her community, her identity, and a life that actually had real meaning. I mean, how could a palace ever compare to a home? Now, what happens next isn't the story of a helpless captive. Oh no, it's a powerful psychological battle fought by a young woman with nothing but her own integrity as her weapon. Inside the palace, Marvi's resistance begins. She refuses to wear the royal clothes or even touch the fine jewels. She spends her days weeping, not out of sadness for herself, but out of this deep, aching longing for her home. Every single day she tells the king, "You may have captured my body, but my soul will always, always be in Malir." Her message couldn't have been more clear. It was unwavering. She had absolutely no desire for his kingdom or his power. The only thing she wanted was to go back to the simple, meaningful life she was stolen from. And this is the turning point. As days turn into weeks, King Umar's perspective starts to shift. He tries everything to win her over: threats, promises, temptations, but nothing, and I mean nothing, works. Her spirit is completely unbreakable, and slowly, his desire begins to morph into something else, something much more powerful: a deep and profound respect. This shift in the king's heart is what leads to the final act of our story, the one that cemented Marvi's place in history, not as a victim, but as a triumphant hero. King Omar finally gets it. He realizes that Marvi's unwavering integrity, her loyalty, her purity of character, that is the real treasure. It's a kind of wealth far greater than anything he had in his entire royal treasury. And so in this truly remarkable act, the same king who abducted her now sets her free. And he doesn't just release her. He sends her back to her beloved village of Malir with full royal honors, acknowledging her as a woman of supreme virtue and strength. And this is why Marvi became so much more than just a character in a folktale. She's a national symbol in Sindh of patriotism and cultural pride. Her story, which was immortalized by the great poet Shah Abdul Latif Bhittai, is a timeless lesson. In a world where cultures can sometimes feel threatened or diluted, her stand is this powerful reminder of just how important it is to preserve who you are and where you come from. Which leaves us with a pretty powerful question to think about, doesn't it? In a world that's constantly offering us riches and power in exchange for little pieces of ourselves, Marvi's story kind of asks us to consider, what's the one part of your identity, your own personal allure, that you would never, ever give up?